everyone, and welcome to the University of Leicester MBA webinar. My name is Helen Spiropoulos and I am the Admissions Manager at Stafford Associates. And joining me this evening all the way from the University of Leicester is Dr. Peter Rodgers. So good evening to you, Dr. Peter.
Good evening, Helen. Good evening, everybody.
But I can see that we have quite a few of you that have attended, which is fantastic. How are we going to conduct the webinar this evening is I'm very briefly going to introduce you to Stafford and what we do. I'm then going to hand you over to Dr. Peter, who's going to talk about the program quite extensively. And right at the end of the presentation, you will see a chat box on your right-hand side. You're very welcome to type out any questions that you'd like Dr. Peter or myself to answer, and we'll try and get through them as quickly as possible. What I will be doing is grouping some of the questions because a lot of them are the same, if not identical. So we will be grouping those questions as we go along. Okay, let's get started. Who is Stafford Associates? Well, Stafford was established in 1993. We are the Middle East Resource Centre for Distance Learning Education, and we represent 5 UK universities. We do offer a variety of programs ranging from certificates to diplomas, bachelor's, master's, right through until doctorates. And our function here is to provide academic and administrative support. And the reason that you are here with us this evening is you've obviously been in touch with one of our experienced academic consultants, and their function is to ensure that you actually send your application through to the university and get an unconditional offer. I'm now going to hand you over to Dr. Peter, who's going to chat to you about the program, and I will join you again towards the end of the presentation. Over to you, Dr. Peter.
Thank you very much, Helen. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for coming today to hear my presentation. And as Helen said, there's an opportunity at the end of the presentation. If anybody has any questions, I'll happily try and answer them. I'm obviously going to say a few words today about the MBA programme, but at the start I'll say a few words about, firstly, myself and then the University of Leicester. My name is Dr. Peter Rodgers. I'm the Director of the MBA programme here at the University of Leicester, and I'm Associate Professor in Strategy here at the University. A brief introduction about the University of Leicester. It was founded nearly 100 years ago in 1921. Received its Royal Charter in 1957, and in terms of global rankings can be seen to be part of the 2% of the top universities in the world. Is rated 5 stars for its excellence in terms of teaching and also its research capacity, and also it's part of the top 25 universities very prestigiously within the Times Higher Education guides for research excellence within the United Kingdom. To say a few overwords about the Leicester MBA, we're very proud to say that we are one of the first AMBA accredited distance learning MBA courses in the world. The Leicester MBA was launched way back in 1989 online, and at the moment we have over 12,000 Leicester MBA graduates who are located around the world, in the Middle East, in the Far East, in China, in Hong Kong, in North America, in Europe, in Britain. So by joining the Leicester MBA, you'll be joining a family of over 12,000 MBA graduates who stay in contact through alumni networks, etc., etc. So one of the things we're very proud about in terms of the MBA is we offer a truly international MBA program. Our student body is extremely diverse in terms of people coming to do the MBA from different parts of the world. And as a result of this, students have the opportunity not only to learn about key themes within the fields of business and management, but also, and no less importantly, have the opportunity to engage in global networking as well. So they can network with your students when you're undertaking the MBA, and you can obviously continue to network with your fellow students when you've already completed your MBA degree. One of the other key points I'd like to mention today and to underline is flexibility. We all understand that today's world is extremely busy. We all have lots of work commitments, we have family commitments, we have a lots of desire to do things, but time is often short. So we've developed an MBA program here at Leicester, which we try and say is extremely flexible in terms of the ability of people with long work and family commitments, the ability to do their MBA studies whilst at the same time continuing with their other things. In terms of the content of the program offers a range of themes across the latest management thinking, and the opportunity as well within the program to specialize, if you'd like to specialize and have an MBA in marketing, an MBA in finance, or an MBA in human resource management. So in terms of the MBA at Leicester, first of all, in terms of accreditations, we're very proud to say that, as I said, we were one of the first business schools in the world to be given the AMBA accreditation, which is an accreditation of quality. AMBA is the leading accrediting body for MBAs around the world. But also in terms of doing the Leicester MBA, you'll essentially be gaining a dual award. You'll be gaining a second qualification in terms of receiving a Chartered Management Institute diploma in strategic management and leadership. So again, this is a very prestigious award which can be very useful again in terms of your career progression. Thirdly, there's a choice on your Leicester MBA. You can either do a general Leicester MBA, or you can do an MBA with a specialism, and that would either be in finance, marketing, or human resource management. The next slide that I've outlined here gives an overview of the course structure. So importantly, in terms of time, students ask me, how long does the MBA at Leicester last? The duration of the MBA is 30 months. So 2.5 years, of which is each of 5 modules is 6 months each. So in terms of months 1 to 6 of your studies, you'll be doing module 1, which is managing and developing people in organizations. You'll be learning about negotiation, organizational behavior, human resource management, leadership and change management. Then module 2 is your core module. You'll be doing things along the lines of marketing, operations management, innovation and entrepreneurship. And then in your module 3, in months 13 to 18, you'll be doing managing finances and strategic decision making, where you'll be looking at accounting, finance and strategy and corporate social responsibility. In terms of your 4th module, you have a choice here where you want whether you want to do marketing, you can do finance, and you can do human resource management. And then your final module, module 6, is your opportunity to either do an MBA dissertation or an MBA project, which could be a project on your company in which you work in, or you can do an MBA project in terms of developing a business plan in terms of developing a startup business as well. Also important to note, alongside and within the program, we have a system of career management within the MBA. So you'll have an opportunity to be involved in executive coaching during the MBA program, and also you'll be able to have guidance from career professional experts who are based here at the University of Leicester School of Business. In terms of the provision, as I've stated in the course delivery of the Leicester MBA, the vast majority of your MBA will take place online. Okay, so you'll be involved with online lectures. These are recorded lectures which you can listen to at home or in the office or in the car, wherever you want to listen to them. You can download these lectures and watch and listen to them where and when you want. You'll also have the opportunity to engage in online seminars. These are live seminars. You'll be in a small group of maybe between 10 and 15 people. And in these seminars, you'll be able to discuss key themes that have come up during the lecture series. And at the same time, online, you'll have the opportunity to engage in discussion boards where you can discuss key themes that have come out of the seminars and the lectures with your fellow students. Importantly, as well as it's stated here, online self-guided lessons and online readings, all the materials that you need to engage in your Leicester MBA are online. Our students often ask me, Dr. Peter, do I need to buy a textbook? Dr. Peter, which books do I need to buy? And I answer them the same, is you don't need to buy any books, you don't need to buy any textbooks. All the materials you need to engage in the Leicester MBA are online, okay? And as well, you'll have the opportunity to engage in the learning and professional development portfolio. This is a portfolio of reflective activities which demonstrate your learning during the duration of the MBA programme. So that is the vast majority of the course delivery, and your engagement on the MBA will take place online. At the same time, though, we recognise that whilst we're providing a distance learning product in terms of the MBA programme, it's important that people today also meet and learn together. So you have the opportunity to go to residential workshops, which take place on the first weekend of every February and the first weekend in August every year. And these take place, for example, in the UAE. So you'd be able to go to a residential weekend on the Friday and a Saturday. And this will take place in the February and in August, and you can meet your fellow students in person. Also, every year in August, there's a Leicester Masterclass, which takes place for a whole week. And if you wanted, you can come to this and obviously meet students who are also studying the MBA around the world. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the course structure. In terms of the residential workshops, as we've stated here, there's a residential workshop every 6 months, and the Leicester Masterclass is 6 days at the University of Leicester, okay, which takes place in August. In terms of achieving the hours you need to receive your MBA degree, the MBA, in terms of the learning, there's 500 hours of learning encapsulated within the MBA programme. In order to receive the MBA degree, you need to demonstrate you've engaged in no less than 120 hours of live study. In order to do this, there's some flexible routes in order to do it. You can either attend one residential workshop and all of your live online seminars, and then you can either attend 2 more residential workshops, or you can attend the Leicester Masterclass. So, for example, within the 2.5-year process of your MBA, you can receive the MBA by coming to 1 residential workshop, for example, in the UAE, and also 1 Leicester Masterclass in Leicester, or you could attend 2 more residential workshops in the UAE alongside your online seminars. In terms of your study and what support you get, joining the Leicester MBA, you will become a full member of the University of Leicester student body. So in terms of your modules, in each of your modules, module 1, module 2, module 3, there'll be a module leader, and this person will be responsible for your academic development within that module. And in terms of the seminars, these will normally be led by study group leaders. And again, you can communicate with this person either through email, etc., if you have any questions or problems. In terms of the residential workshops, there will be a residential workshop leader and tutor who you can turn to and have support from them. Throughout your studies on the Leicester MBA, you will be assigned a personal tutor. This is somebody that looks after your study skills, your progression as a student on the MBA. If you have any other questions or queries or problems that you need to talk to somebody about, you can communicate this with your specific personal tutor. As I mentioned before, part of the MBA programme, we have a strong element of careers and professional development within the programme. As a result of this, you have access to the University of Leicester School of Business's Career Development Manager, and also the wider University Career Development Service. And these people can provide you with lots of training in terms of curriculum vitae, CV training, and also training in terms of soft skill development, communication skills, interaction skills, etc. In terms of the library, of course, at the University of Leicester here campus, we have our own library. Of course, if you're studying in the UAE or in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait in the Middle East, you might say, oh, the library in Leicester is a long way away. The 99% of all the materials are now available online. So you can type in your login details and you'll have access to all the University of Leicester's library materials, which you can then use for your MBA studies. A final point of importance is to mention is the English language provisions. Of course, we understand the University of Leicester is a university which sees itself as an international body of learning. As a result of that, we recognise that not everybody has English as their native language. We have a very dedicated and highly professional team at the English language teaching unit here at the university, And these people are here to support and help people whose English is not their first language in order to you to receive and gain the support you need to complete your MBA studies. So moving on to the next slide, students often, again, a very popular question is, Dr. Peter, how much time do I need each week to do my MBA studies? I'm a very busy person. How much time do I need? And I always answer the same, which is, firstly, it's important to say that people study differently. Every individual is different. And as a result of that, some people might spend 10 hours and some people might spend 18 hours a week. But generally, on average, I'd say you'd need to allocate between 12 and 14 hours a week to your studies. This will take place in terms of a 2-hour recorded lecture or a 1-hour live online seminar. You'd also then have seminar and lecture discussion boards and activities to take place online and also offline. And also you'd have the opportunity to do some readings as well, background readings which are provided online. At the same time, you can work towards developing your learning professional development portfolio. In terms of assessment, people then ask, in terms of the MBA at Leicester, is it all exams? Is it assignments? We provide a varied and we like to say highly engaging forms of assessment. During the core modules, which are modules 1, 2, and 3, you'll have midterm examinations, and then there'll be a final individual assignment. Excuse me. In your option modules, up module 4, there'll be a midterm individual assignment and then a final group assessment. And then in your final module, you'll have the opportunity in the MBA project, you'll either provide a study in terms of a company project, or you'll have the opportunity to prepare a business plan, or you'll have the opportunity to have a traditional dissertation. Okay. Beyond all this, as I've mentioned about the learning and development portfolio, this is a portfolio which develops throughout the 2.5 years of the MBA program. Here you provide evidence and reflection on your learning and engagement, as well as the evidence of how you've engaged in career development throughout the MBA program. Moving swiftly on in terms of entry requirements, in order to gain access to the Leicester MBA, to get a place on our prestigious MBA, you'd need to have a UK degree of 2.2 or equivalent and 3.5 years experience. Or if you don't have that degree, you can have a recognised professional qualification and what we say considerable management experience. Okay, and in terms of if the first degree was not completed in English, you could undertake the English language requirements of EL's TOEFL, or you'll have the opportunity to undertake an MBA admissions assessment, which will form part of multi-choice questions and also the opportunity to write a 400-word essay around a topic based around business and management. So there'll be opportunities for you there as well. Moving on, what does the Leicester MBA course fees, what do they cover importantly and what don't they cover? Leicester MBA course fees cover your required study materials, as I've stated. All of your study materials, 100% of these materials are online. You don't need to buy any textbooks, you don't need to buy any course materials. They'll also cover your attendance at residential workshops and also your attendance at the Leicester Masterclass, and also examination fees. Examinations will take place at a local British Council office where you live in your home country. The Leicester MBA course fees, however, don't cover accommodation at a residential workshop, accommodation and catering at the Leicester Masterclass, and also travel to examinations, residential workshops, and the Leicester Masterclass. In terms of the fees, at the moment it's 14,210, I think, payable in 6 affordable instalments. So it's not a case that you need to pay the whole program fee at the start. You can pay the first installment and then pay as you continue throughout your MBA program. And then the application deadline, which is very important, is you need to make your application this year by the 28th of February 2019. I think that's it. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I look forward to hearing any questions if anybody has any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Peter. That was very informative. We have opened up the portal now for you to type out your questions, and I can see we have already received some questions. Okay, from Assem, what is the nature of your certification? Is it recognized?
Right, yeah, good question. Yes, of course it's recognised. It's recognised as a degree, firstly, at the University of Leicester, and in terms of accreditation, as an MBA, we're accredited by AMBA, which is I'd probably say, the most prestigious global accreditation body for MBA programs around the world.
Okay, and Majdi's question is there possibility of a fast track option? Can I take 2 modules at the same time?
Right, okay, good question. The straight answer is, I'm afraid not. The MBA program has been developed pedagogically in terms of each module develops chronologically from the previous one. So module 1 is a 6-month module, and then module 2 on innovation entrepreneurship continues on from that for a further 6 months. So it's sometimes quite a popular question in terms of, can we do this? Can we do the program quicker? But the answer is no, in terms of you would lose as a student from not having the ability to explore in depth some of the themes that we explore within the MBA.
Okay, and I have a question from Peter, who's from Ghana. So welcome, Peter. Your question on getting admission onto the campus. The program is a distance learning program, but do get in touch directly with the university. They will be able to assist you with any other programs they do have that you can actually attend on campus. Okay. But Khalid's question, can you give an example of a recognized professional qualification? I think that refers to the entry requirement, either the degree or a professional qualification.
It would mean, in terms of whether somebody has a qualification which might not be a university degree, it might be from a higher education college, it might be something from a technical college, if somebody's got a qualifications, for example, in the construction industry and has done quite a few qualifications, for example, in that. It's not a university degree, but it's a demonstration of learning, of further education, and depending on that, these things would be taken into consideration.
Absolutely. And Main's question is, I have not studied for quite some time. Do you think that I will be able to manage this MBA? It's a very interesting question.
It's a good question. My straight answer is, it's never. You're never too old to start and continually learning. All of us in life are continually learning. Is my honest view on it. So do not worry at all about if you studied you feel a long time ago and it's going to be difficult or new to restart your learning. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy the experience, and it's a very common concern actually amongst MBA students. Some people haven't studied for 10, 15, 20, sometimes 30 years, and then they're concerned, and then they join the MBA program, they meet their fellow students, and they realize they're not alone. There's lots of other people that have got similar issues, but they then start enjoying learning again.
Good. And Alali's question is, he has completed a postgraduate diploma from a private institution in Canada. Will I be able to get exemptions towards this MBA?
I don't think you'll be able to get exemptions from the MBA, in terms of you'd have to start the MBA program from day one. In terms of the Leicester MBA, we don't provide any exemptions if people have been doing any parts of MBA courses or other courses around the world.
Good. And Jarvish's questions received great information from Stafford. Thank you so much. And is the summer school workshop compulsory?
No, the summer school, the masterclass is not compulsory. It happens every year in August for a week in Leicester, so you're more than welcome to come. It's an opportunity to meet people here in Leicester. Come to the university campus. However, if you're very busy or you don't want to come, that's absolutely fine. In terms of receiving your hours to receive your MBA degree, you can receive those hours by attending residential workshops in the UAE, so that's not a problem. Yeah, you don't need to come to Leicester, that's right.
Okay, and Elsa Yet's question is, will this program assist me in studying further onto a PhD?
Good question. I'd say academically, yes, it probably would. It's a good opportunity in terms of a demonstration of the ability to study. You can develop your analytical skills. You can develop your time management skills. You can decide which themes from the MBA you might then want to focus more extensively on if you wanted to do a PhD after that. So it would be a good thing to do if that's what you wanted to do further down the line in your career.
Okay, and Pablo, I'll answer that question. Pablo's question is about examinations. He lives in the UAE, but he also travels, or he might leave the country. So, Pablo, if you are going to be leaving the country or traveling, you can actually write examinations at a British council in whatever country you're in. So when it gets to the point where you need to write your examinations, the university will be in touch with you, and you need to stipulate which country you're in. So they will be able to assist you with that. Okay. And Dilip's question is there any scope for any reduction in my fees? Is there a scholarship? How do I go about doing this?
Okay, there is information I think available on the website, on our University of Leicester MBA's website, about some scholarships which are available. So I'd strongly urge you to obviously speak to your Stafford consultant in the first instance, and secondly yourself, if you wanted to have a look at the MBA website where there's information about some scholarships which you could potentially apply for.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to suggest, is do get in touch with your personal academic consultant at Stafford, and they'll be able to give you the various options. Purpose of the CMI, is that important in this qualification?
Okay, good question. It's not important in terms of in the qualification. It's an opportunity for you to receive, I suppose, a second qualification for free, in terms of you receive an MBA degree, but as well as that, in conjunction, simultaneously, you receive the CMI qualification as well. And the CMI, the Chartered Management Institute, is an institution which promotes business and management education around the globe. So it might be quite useful for you in terms of, again, networking opportunities. You know, the thousands and thousands of people around the world are CMI graduates as well. And they also run training courses, career development courses online, and also on campus as well. So it's an opportunity for you to engage in that as well.
Okay, is there a possibility for me to do any of the modules on a full-time basis at the campus?
Okay. Straight answer is no. It's a distance learning MBA program. So, as I said at the start, in terms of the program, is all based around the vast majority of the learning takes place online. In terms of the campus, obviously, you have an opportunity to come to the campus. You can come as a student anytime you want to meet myself or fellow colleagues who work on the MBA. You can come, for example, the residential workshops that take place in the UAE. They also take place in Leicester, and the masterclass itself takes place in Leicester in the summer as well, in August. So if you wanted to come, you'd be more than welcome to visit and attend those.
Okay, if I happen to fail some of my assessments and I have to retake them, what would be the maximum time period that I can complete this MBA?
Okay, good. The duration of the MBA, as I said at the start, is 30 months, 2.5 years. However, we do recognise that things happen in people's lives in terms of there might be health reasons or there might be difficulties with work commitments. So the general answer is you'll need to complete your MBA studies within 5 years of your starting date.
Okay, and the next question is about the entry requirements. My Stafford consultant has informed me that there may be more flexible entry requirements, which is quite correct. You do get in touch with your academic consultant, so we will be able to advise you on the new restructured flexible entry requirements. So do get in touch with your consultant in the morning, and we'll be able to help you with that. Can I attend the graduation? But if I cannot, how do I get my degree certificate?
Okay. Yes, graduation ceremony will take place at the University of Leicester on completion of the programme. Of course, you'll be more than welcome to come and receive your degree and to enjoy that day of celebration in person with yourself or family, friends, and you can meet myself and other academics here from the programme. If, however, you can't come to Leicester for that day, the university will send your degree by post to you. So don't worry, you'll still receive your degree certificate. It will simply be sent to you by post.
Okay, and I'm going to add to that because I can see there's questions with regards to the visa. So the university will provide you a letter to help you with the visa and go to the graduation. So do get in touch with the university at that point, and they'll be able to assist you with that letter. In the event that I fail one of my core modules, will I have a second chance to repeat this?
Oh, yes, you will. Yes. Again, people here, we do understand. Again, not everybody passes every test, every exam, every assessment first time. So if, for example, you don't pass examination on module 1 or module 2, module 3, you have the opportunity to do a resit examination. You can obviously get consultation from your personal tutor. You can speak to the module leader. You can speak to your study tutors, and you can then work and develop a plan in order to obviously pass the resit and then develop the MBA going forward.
Okay, why are the face-to-face residentials compulsory, and what happens if I cannot attend due to some unforeseen circumstance?
Good questions. First question, why are they compulsory? Very important in terms of our accreditation. As I said, we're very pleased that we have a prestigious accreditation from AMBA in terms of the quality of our MBA programme. And one of their stipulations, one of their requirements is that students must receive no less than 120 hours of live contact with academic members of staff. So within the MBA programme online, you have the live contact in terms of the seminars, but also you have the opportunity by attending the residential workshops and or the masterclass to again receive these hours of live contact. So that's the reason from an accreditation perspective to maintain the quality of our MBA programme. It's also, as I said in the presentation, an opportunity for you to network, to meet your fellow students. When you first start on the programme, you'll be meeting people virtually online in terms of on the computer. But then when you go to residential, you can meet people in person and get to know them as humans, as potentially as students, colleagues, friends as well. Second question, which is a very good question as well, which is what happens if I can't come in February to the residential in the UAE because my boss at work says, Peter, for example, Peter, you must write this report for the next week, and you're not going to the residential, work. These things happen. It's not a problem on the MBA programme. There's flexibility built in terms of you'll be able to go to the next module in 6 months' time. So if you were a student at the moment and you couldn't go to the residential at the start of February in next week, you'd be able to go to the next one in August, and that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, and that's a very similar question to what Dilip is asking next, is if I cannot attend the Leicester Masterclass, will this actually affect my course?
Right. No, it wouldn't. In terms of if you didn't attend the Leicester Masterclass, that's fine. You don't need to come physically to Leicester. You would just need to attend the residential workshops, for example, in the UAE, to gain the relevant contact hours in order to receive your MBA degree.
Exactly. And the next question is quite interesting. In your opinion, are the examinations very difficult?
That's a good question. In my humble opinion, the examinations are, I think they're rigorous, and they test the knowledge they test knowledge of the materials which are part of each of the modules. So they're not particularly difficult in terms of the examinations are not planned, they're not created to try and provide difficult questions for our students. They're just a means of assessing and checking learning in terms of the process along the MBA program.
And there's a follow-up question from Thomas to do with the examinations. How many hours are exams in general?
They're normally 2 or 3 hours, I think, each examination.
Okay, good. And what type and the type of exams? Is it an essay or is it multiple choice exams?
Mainly essays. Some of for example, in module 3, there's some finance questions. These will be maybe more number based, but the majority of them will be, here is a question, write an answer for 1,000 words or 2,000 words.
Okay. And Dilip, your question is about the entry requirement with regards to your IELTS or English requirement. Do send all your documentation through to your academic consultant. The degree certificate that you do have will obviously be reviewed by the university to ascertain the level and make sure that it is equivalent to a UK level 6 honours. And with regards to the English requirement, they will do the assessment as well. So please ensure that you send all the documents as soon as possible so that the assessment can happen quite quickly and we can give you an answer straight away. Okay. What makes this MBA different to any other MBA that is out there?
That's a very good question. What makes the Leicester MBA unique? Firstly, as I said, I think in my presentation, we're very proud that we are one of the first business schools in the whole world that has provided a distance learning MBA product since 1989. So we have nearly 30 years experience of doing MBA programs online for students based all around the world. But also, we try and provide flexibility within the program in terms of you can either do, for example, a fully campus-based MBA program, which means going somewhere, going to campus 9 o'clock on Monday morning, 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. And increasingly, this doesn't work for lots of students because people are leading very different lives today. And the second option is you can do a wholly 100% online MBA. Which is good sometimes in terms of time, but a lot of the feedback from 100% distance learning MBAs is it was very interesting, but I never met my fellow students. So you meet your fellow students virtually, Mohammed in Dubai, Peter in Leicester, Jenny in Chicago, Huanxi in Beijing, but you never meet in person. But what we've tried to provide in terms of the Leicester MBA is a meeting of those two things. Distance learning is incredibly important and incredibly flexible for students in today's busy world. But at the same time, you have an opportunity within the residential workshops and the masterclass to meet people in person. And in the world of business and in life in general, we believe that's very important.
Excellent. And just to follow up on the examinations, they're paper-based examinations, get written at the British Council. Okay, and one final question again from Peter. Peter, this program, as we have stated before, is an online program. There is no full-time program. Okay, but do get in touch with the university for any other full-time programs that they may have that will suit your personal and your professional needs. Okay. All right, well, I think that I've managed to group all the questions together this evening, so we don't have anything else. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Peter. It was wonderful having you with us again. And, oh, sorry, there's just one more last question. Yes, sorry, Thomas, I'll answer that. Thomas, with regards to acceptance in your country, do get in touch with our academic consultant, and you will be able to get some advice on that, okay? Because every country is a little bit different, okay? All right, so once again, thank you so much, Dr. Peter. It's wonderful having you with us this evening. And thank you, everyone, for joining me and Dr. Peter in this webinar. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.